Who better than B. Tyagarajan, MD at Blue Star, joining in on the show right now. We also have with us Nilesh Gupta, MD at Vijay Sales, joining in. Gentlemen, so good having you on the show. And Mr. Tyagarajan, welcome to the ETNA studios. Good to see you. Tell us, is there any cheer or at least early signs of a festive cheer?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. First of all, Navratri greetings to you and your audience. I think there is a lot of excitement. Onam season was not that good, understandably, because of the Wayanad incident or the Middle East related disturbances, perhaps. But I am seeing a lot of excitement around, and you can see the consumerism is back, and I just keep wondering something like Coldplay or Apple iPhone launch bringing so much of excitement. And the category to which I belong, the air conditioner, it is doing extremely well.
So the initial Dussehra, can I say, has not been great? And how important is Dussehra for your company in terms of the total sales?
It is good.
No, you say Onam sales have not been great.
Onam was bad.
Okay.
That's a very small part of one state we are talking
very small.
about.
Okay. So what has been the trend in the first 3-4 days of Dussehra for you?
Good.
Navratri, sorry.
My rough estimate is, I think it is around 15% more than last year.
Okay, and that is largely because of demand, or this is a price hike which you've taken, and as a result the number is looking higher?
It's a real demand.
It's a real demand. This is the number of units what you're sharing with us. This is not the top line.
That's right. See, for us to get the tertiary sales data will be much more higher, right? It will be taking time, but the indications are good. I'll surely, you have to go by the dealers, how much they are stocking, and what are the footfalls in the stores. It is good. Okay. As of now, I am not concerned. But having said that, these are really exciting times. There is some election in the US and Middle East conflict, and there are some supply chain issues. All this can dramatically change. But going by the mood of the people, I am confident that the festive season for air conditioners will be good.
Okay. Nilesh, hi, morning. What's been your channel check like? Have the footfalls converted into buys already as we are, halfway through Navratri?
Navratri to one and all. I think I can allay Mr. Tyagarajan's fear to a large extent. The opening has been very good, including air conditioners. And the basic reason for the air conditioners to do well is basically the heat wave, which has once again started, especially in the West. So, and overall also, apart from air conditioners, overall the footfalls are very high, and all of the footfalls are the ones which are converting into sales. And the sentiment is very good. In fact, this year we had another phenomena on 2nd October, which was a bank holiday, and it was the last day of the Shraddh. Normally, the last day of the Shraddh is very dull because most of the people who are even on the fringe, who do not believe much of not buying in Shraddh, also feel that now, since it's the last day, why disturb our parents or grandparents, and we'll buy it next day. But this time being a holiday, national holiday, we had huge footfall and great sales on the last day of the Shraddh also, indicating that consumer is now changing, and the electronics and consumer durables and mobiles are no longer something which is should buy or should not buy, but it's become a necessity. And the same trend we have seen from the first day of Navratri. Yesterday was a weekend which we closed Sunday. It was one of the best Sundays we have seen. So I think we are on a high run this year during Diwali. You should be looking at a growth of at least 10% over last Diwali. And mind you, the last Diwali was also good. So on a high base, growth of 10% would be really great.
What you're telling us is that cars may not be selling. There could be some pricing pressure in hotel and hospitality, but for the sector which you represent, which is durables, you are expecting a double-digit growth this year.
Yes, Nikunj, I'm expecting a double-digit growth. And sorry to say, but if cars are not doing well, then possibly the consumer in the family, somebody will say, if you are not buying a car, dad, at least buy me a new mobile or buy a large screen television. And secondly, the biggest advantage in our consumer durable is the EMI offers. So I think that's what's been propelling our sales in the last 5 to 7 years, and that's the way forward.
Good old report which we talk about every year. Look at China in terms of penetration level. Look at India in terms of penetration level. We have a long way to go. Is that the very basic template which will keep on propelling AC sales higher? It could be one bad month, one bad quarter, and maybe one bad year. But ultimately, this is an industry which will grow at least at the nominal GDP growth rate.
Much more than that. Last week, we released a report, CII and Ernst & Young. I happened to head the National Committee on Consumer Durables and Electronics for CII. The CAGR up to 2030 is more than 15%.
Okay.
And the air conditioner category, our estimate is it will be at least 19%. The market will more than double. In air conditioners, so as Nilesh mentioned, multiple reasons. The very first one is connected with more than one at a home can be purchased. The heat wave is the other reason. The urban heat effect is impacting now in the sense the cross ventilation not being there, and you have to have an air conditioner. Then you are used to the air conditioned environment, whether it is car or a shop or a showroom or a restaurant. So you feel really uncomfortable when it is heating up, like now even in October. The next part is easy availability of finance. We are witnessing 55% of our sales during summer season was to consumer finance. Right now is more than 50%. It's a cost to us, and that is the other part of it. And whenever the iPhone sales take place, Nilesh mentioned that I have seen a dip in the air conditioner sales, and whenever Apple launches, I become nervous. But it isn't the case this year.
So that's your competitor, Apple.
I met
the share of the wallet goes there, right?
Course.
And iPhone is purchased once in 2 years, and for iPhone cost you can buy 2 air conditioners.
Absolutely.
And it lasts for 7-8 years.
I met the India head of Mercedes last week, and he said that I'm not getting sales because everybody's investing in SIPs. He said, look, that's the way it is. I mean, a car is being sold, a luxury car in India has been sold as the EMI product. You're not taking an EMI, you're doing an SIP. So whether it's a 40,000, 50,000 rupee EMI which you can take in a Mercedes or a luxury car, you've decided to take a SIP, and as a result that money is not coming to a Mercedes. That's not the problem with
For
air
Blue Star,
conditioners.
it's Apple iPhones. So, yeah.
See, most important factor is, where 10 years ago, you will say, I can buy a AC who will pay for the power bill. But thanks to the energy labeling scheme, the power consumption has been brought down. It consumes, if you compare with 2005, it consumes only 20% of the power it is supposed to consume. And therefore, that is no longer a burden. And in iPhone, the apps, what you will pay is the same cost you pay for electricity bills.
Okay, so one thing we are able to establish very clearly is that at least in the category which we are discussing, the white goods category, whether it's air conditioner, phone, other white good consumer durables, there is no slowdown. And Nilesh Bhai is confirming that it could be a 10% surge on last year's high base. And Mr. Tyagarajan pretty much seems to be echoing that for next 5 years, we are looking at a 19 to 20% kind of an CAGR growth for the air conditioning department till 2030, which means every 3 years the demand actually could double. What else, Nilesh Bhai, are the trends in this Navratri? We've spoken air conditioners, you spoke about iPhone. What else is different in this Navratri from last Navratri?
So I think, Nikul, the basic thing is premiumization is continuing and it is getting stronger and stronger. So what we are seeing is even in the first 6 months of this year, Jan to June, the reports which have come in, we have seen a higher growth in all the categories, across all the categories in premiumization. So we have seen a much, the TVs had been more or less flat, but we saw 30 to 40% growth in 65-inch and plus. Even in the air conditioners, we saw a growth of 30% overall because we had a great season. But there was a 60% growth of 5-stars ACs. So clearly, this Navratri, the trend is continuing. Everybody is moving into premiumization. People are wanting larger refrigerators, side-by-side refrigerators, larger screen televisions, better phones, fold, and the iPhones are increasing in sales. So I think it's all about premiumization. Consumers have really decided that we will not compromise when it comes to consumer durables and electronics. And I think that's the way forward.
Understand, Mr. Gupta, as to what exactly is the kind of contribution, or are you now seeing a pickup when it comes to online sales as well?
Sales, I think the numbers were out just last week of what these big days sales happened, and they were very high sales. But the best part is, even during those days when they started the online sales, the offline did not go down. In fact, it helped us to do better than the average sales which we do. So it's clearly indication that the online sales are helping to increase the pie of the market, and it's good for everybody.
And I've been wanting to ask both Mr. Tyagarajan and Nilesh Bhai is that imagine quick commerce is now giving you an air conditioner. I'm seeing the electronic and iPhones. Yeah. That is not the concept of e-commerce, right?
I think it will catch up. I am of the view every channel will coexist here. It's a question of time. They have cracked everything that one would worry about. Delivery, the size and the weight, logistics they are handling, and consumer finance they are able to do.
How does it work? So, for example, a quick commerce, I understand that they have dark stores. They have dark stores where you store groceries, you store food items, you store toiletries. But I don't think a quick commerce service provider is going to be keeping an air conditioner or iPhone or a fridge. But if they're delivering it, how does it work? They approach you directly, they buy from you directly. How does the process work?
They will tie up with one of the distributors,
Okay.
and it will be a partnership that will be evolving. I am seeing a different trend altogether. The earlier, obviously Nilesh is a big player in this with the modern retail or power retailer that we call. They are becoming bigger, and they are able to serve. Their behavior is almost as good as a company dealing with in terms of customer satisfaction and the experience that they deliver. And the distributors in, let us say, some eastern UP, it used to be a distributor having 100 sub dealers. That is disappearing today. This distributor is replaced by a online channel, which is telling them that all that you need is one display unit and a terminal. You order, I will be able to deliver. So that distributor is replaced by online channels. Now, one would think that consumer finance, how you will close, etc., but they have cracked that. Service part of it is integrated with the company. So there is a online registration and installation and service happens. But that is not to say that online is going to take over. I think for my category, air conditioners, it's around 15% of the total market is with digital. Tomorrow it may be even ONDC, which will empower all dealers to be part of that platform.
I have the same question for Nilesh Bhai. Nilesh Bhai, quick commerce, now first it was grocery, then it was food, then it became toys, stationery, and now electronics. Do you think quick commerce could have a disruptive impact in the way how the white goods are distributed? We're talking about a distribution channel here which is getting created.
So I'll tell you something. When in 2007 the online space came in, everybody said it will disrupt the market, and the offline stores and distribution will get totally wiped out, or they will become half of what they are. But and the same question now, we are at the same time at the crossroads of quick commerce coming into electronics. So what is going to happen is, what we saw during the online phase coming in, it grew the market. And as you rightly said in the first part of the program, that the penetration levels in our country compared to the developed ones are very, very less. So I think there's a room for all the players. There will be consumers who will be wanting to take delivery within 10 minutes. Somebody who would want to take online and not come to the stores. But a majority of the consumers, especially in our category, whether it's an iPhone, you're buying 80,000 rupees product, 70,000 rupees product, or an air conditioner, which is a 35, 40,000 rupees product. Most of the people, most of the consumers in India right now, they are not so time poor. They would want to come to the store, physically see the product. And most important, more than physically seeing the product also, they want a human being to talk to them in case something goes wrong. So I think there'll be a room for all the channels, quick commerce, online, offline, and distribution. The only difference is going to be each of these channels will have to keep on evolving themselves. If today I sit down and say, no, I'm going to play the game what I was playing 15 years back, and I'll continue doing that, then I'll be out of the market. I'll also have to evolve with the changing consumer demands, with the changing trends. And if I'm able to do that, then I think there's room for all the channels to continue to sustain and thrive.
Okay, Nilesh, Mr. Tyagarajan, both of you, thank you so much for taking the time out and giving us a color that at least when it comes to the consumer durable segment, it's going to be a very happy Diwali.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.